Good evening. Today is September 15th, and you're watching the Manila Times News Prime. Our top story: Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla confirms that there are at least 3 ghost infrastructure projects in Bulacan. The total cost of the projects is almost 300 million pesos. The ghost projects were discovered in the first district of the province. Remulla says the projects were traced using coordinates submitted through the Isumbong Mo Kay Pangulo website. He says investigators are now tying up loose ends before filing cases against those responsible for the non-existent projects. He did not disclose the identities of the officials or contractors involved pending completion of the probe. Meanwhile, 3 DPWH officials are perpetually disqualified from holding public office. Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon issued the order. The 3 officials are Assistant District Engineer Brice Ericson Hernandez, Construction Section Chief Jaypee Mendoza, and Accountant Juanito Mendoza. All of them were assigned at the Bulacan First Engineering Office. They were earlier found guilty of administrative charges for their alleged involvement in anomalous flood control projects. In other related developments, former DPWH Bulacan Assistant District Engineer Brice Hernandez is back at the Senate detention facility. This came after a hearing on Hernandez's petition for a writ of amparo before the Pasay Regional Trial Court. Hernandez's lawyer requested his client's readmission to the Senate facility in a letter to Senate President Tito Soto. Soto granted the request, which the court noted in its proceedings. Hernandez is set to reappear before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee in its inquiry into alleged irregularities in flood control projects. In other news, other transport groups will not join the upcoming strike set by Piston and Manipela. MMDA Chairman Romando Artes gave this assurance following talks with the non-participating jeepney groups. Despite this, MMDA says it will prepare free rides on standby to ensure commuters are not stranded if the strike pushes through. Artes also appealed to jeepney drivers joining the protest not to force others to participate. Piston earlier said they will hold the strike this Thursday to protest corruption and the heavy tax burden on jeepney drivers. In sports, Filipino tennis ace Alex Eala is set to play at the Jingsha Open in China. The tournament will take place from September 14 to 22. Ranked 61st in the world, Eala is expected to be the top seed unless a higher-ranked player makes a last-minute entry. Eala last saw action at the Sao Paulo Open in Brazil, where she reached the quarterfinals of the tournament. And finally, in entertainment, the murder saga Adolescence was the big winner at the Emmy Awards. It grabbed 8 prizes, including Best Limited Series. Adolescence was arguably this year's most talked about TV hit. The British series for Netflix is a tale of a fictional 13-year-old schoolboy arrested on suspicion of murdering a female classmate with a knife. Seth Rogen's Hollywood satire The Studio dominated the comedy categories. It earned Best Series honors and an overall total of 13 Emmys, a new record for comedies. For more news and information, read the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn, and be part of our communities on Viber, Telegram, WhatsApp, and Mastodon. That's all for now on the Manila Times News Prime. Remember to stay safe, stay informed, and stay connected. I'm Michael Ang. Good night.